Finally, Blue Falcon has come back to YouTube. Let's go! Nah, but on a serious note, what's going on YouTube? Blue Falcon here, coming to you with another video. So this one should be interesting. I mean, you saw the title, you saw the thumbnail. It seems to be more issues with Sneako and Charlie, aka Penguin Zero, whatever the case may be, right? Now, this thing is getting utterly out of control. I'm actually gonna go to a video that I want you guys to actually see for yourselves, because I mean, I personally can't make it up. All right, you guys. So let's actually check this out here. All right, so this is from the YouTuber Internet Anarchist. All right, so check out what he has to say. His coverage.
After being completely and utterly humiliated by Charlie, Sneako would come out with one of the worst responses possible, digging his career's grave an even deeper hole than it ever had before. Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we'll be looking into Sneako's response to the recent video Charlie posted, and the entirety of the internet clowning him for being an NPC cuck. In the last two videos, we covered the controversy between ex-YouTuber Sneako and YouTuber Penguin Zero, also known as Most Critical or Charlie. The controversy started when Sneako decided to randomly insult Charlie and his girlfriend on stream, leading Charlie to post a video essentially exposing Sneako for being a cuck and being a Redpill grifter.
Alright, so let me just stop right there. As you can see, like he said, Sneako fundamentally started it by attacking Charlie. Now, Sneako is part of the Redpill community. I just don't understand how people who claim that they're all about masculinity, that they're all about manhood, why would you attack another man's wife? I just don't get it. I mean, it's tasteless. I don't get it.
After the drama was seemingly over, Sneako would constantly whine about it on Twitter and would continuously try to cling on to the relevance he gained from it for as long as he could. It wouldn't be until months later that Charlie would even acknowledge his existence, when he would post some brutal tweets demolishing whatever reputation Sneako had remaining, followed by an even more brutal video posted on the 15th of March, where he called out Sneako for threatening his life over some petty drama, which spawned this immediately iconic clip.
And I'm sorry to be that guy, this is like the grammar police of guns, but he's a fucking imbecile, you absolute buffoon. What you have there is not clips. These are mags. They're mags, not clips, you absolute fucking dummy. The same way that this is also a mag. They're all mags. Stop saying clips, you look fucking stupid.
And this brings us to this video, where we'll be detailing Sneako's response to Charlie, as well as Charlie's reaction to Sneako's reply. On the 16th of March, Aiden Ross would react to Charlie's Sneako's horrible video on stream, where towards the end, Aiden would actually call up Sneako to make a statement on the video, where Sneako would say,
"So let me ask you, if you saw him walking down the street, what are you doing?"
I would walk up to him and I would say the same stuff that you said in your videos. I would look him dead in the eye and say, all that stuff you said in your videos, say it to my face right now. And I know that he would freeze up and not say a word. This is why I'm sick of the internet and why we should spend more time in the real world, because this is garbage, bro. Does anyone in the chat think that he would say any of this face to face, one-on-one? If I'm looking at Moist Critical, who looks like a fentanyl homeless dude, who looks like he stands at a playground looking at, bro, he looks like he's homeless. Look at him. If he's calling me a file, look at me and look at him. Who's more likely to be on a watch list? Who's more likely to shoot him from school?
Yo!
Would he say this? Come on. Let's be honest.
2 days later, on the 18th of March, Aiden Ross would host a stream alongside Sneako, where Aiden would interview Sneako about the drama. He would start by bringing up the gun anatomy lesson Charlie gave Sneako during his video, where Sneako would reply saying that it's a quote, white person thing to do.
I want to ask you first of all, the most critical situation. You know, you start. It was so funny. You're like dancing with a fucking gun, like right here, like just dancing, and you said something about like some clips. Like, I'm gonna be honest, bro. He did really own you. You know he did. Come on.
Own me, bro. That's it. Okay, you just talk. Yo, hold on. You talk about fuck white people. That's some white people shit to be like, oh, clips, magazines. Bro, everybody says clip. Is that really an own to be like? Actually, it's called magazine. Come on, bro.
Next, Sneako would call out Charlie for making adult jokes in his content, which for those of you who aren't familiar with him, have been a staple meme throughout the channel's history.
And second of all, if we're gonna talk about we're gonna talk about sucking dick, that dude actively still does that. There's so many. He just dropped a music video of upside down crosses promoting Antichrist with dildos throwing at each other's face, promoting drugs, promoting all the degeneracy. It's not an old clip, bro. He just dropped a music video last week with the Antichrist in the background promoting Satanism. This shit's disgusting. And I think that we both know that the youth needs a more positive message right now. Both of us are not perfect. Both of us have troubled past, but we should look at the future. I don't know why everybody, all these soy boys, continue to talk about my past and not talk about the present. I've had people come on Omegle and say that, yo, you and Aiden, Sneako and Aiden helped me start working out. I've been doing push-ups every single day. Yeah, bro. I've had people come up to me and be like, yo, bro, you started helping me like change the whole trajectory of my life. I'm going to the gym every day. 2020, 23 is my year. People are motivated right now. And all these same people, the same people that talk shit about you, talk shit about me because they want us to stay to our degenerate path. You never got canceled when you were being gay.
Aiden Ross would agree with Sneako on his point of view, relating it back to when Aiden made a tweet where he claimed there were two genders, which he feels like he was cancelled over.
I think, I was sending a text. Everything you're saying is true. It is. At the end of the day, like, it's kind of funny,
So let me stop right here real quick because apparently it seems like, and this is why fundamentally I'm actually following this story to begin with, right? Is because a part of me actually wants to like, and I use that term very loosely, a part of me actually wants to like Sneako. Not necessarily because I like him as a person, but rather I can understand just him and the Redpill community as a whole, the idea of trying to help men, remain masculine, especially in this world that we live in. I'm all for it. So Sneako at many times, he says the right things, but he just goes about it extremely off. And, one thing, having looked at some of Charlie's content for myself, and I do kind of see where Sneako is coming from, especially when he's promoting, Antichrist and all these other demonic symbols in his videos. So having this guy, and he has, mind you, if anybody knows him, he has millions of subscribers. I think he's up to like 11 plus million subscribers. Right, so Charlie is big time. I mean, every single one of his videos hits in millions. And I'm saying that to say that this is a predominant figure, and that is the mindset that is predominantly being taught to children at large. So can you see how that can be very detrimental to the youth if someone like a Charlie, you know what I'm saying, is actually, whatever the case is, and that's if the allegations are true from Sneako, that he's playing with dildos and he's having, I've seen the Antichrist videos for myself, but these are the things that is just like, is that what we want as the figurehead? Now, with that being said, I don't think Sneako is any better. I don't think he's any better to be the spokesman for, masculinity. And for the most part, I think he only hits his sphere, which is okay. Everybody has their own, core group of people that listen to them. But fundamentally, I would much rather side with somebody who at least have some type of morals, especially if those morals are grounded in conservative roots, Bible roots. You get what I'm saying? After all, this is the old school podcast, so maybe I'm old school in that way. So I'd much rather, agree with someone like a Sneako, despite the mistakes that he have made. But again, he have done some questionable stuff. But let's actually get back to the video.
with everything you just said, it's actually true. I stated a fact, a scientific fact about two genders, and I just get fucking canceled for it. It's crazy.
A commonality between Aiden Ross, Sneako, and other similar creators in that space is that they'll promote the concept of bullying being important for people, yet when they themselves become the target of said bullying, they resort to saying that they are being, quote, cancelled. Earlier that day, Sneako would post a tweet claiming that he'd be debating Charlie on Aiden's stream, but when it actually came to Aiden's stream, he revealed that he wasn't debating Charlie to begin with. Following this, Aiden would ask Sneako why he was even beefing with Charlie to start with, and what his definition of soy boy is.
All right, listen, bro. So why were you even beefing in the first place? What happened? Please tell me.
Okay, you want to know why? I'll explain it, and I would prefer to just go talk to him because this back and forth, this drama stuff, you know all the Twitter pages are going to clip this up and all the, you know what I'm saying, the Xerto, Jake Sucky, these people are going to clip it up. But the reason we started beefing was because I first heard about Fresh and Fit from a hit piece of his video, from one of his videos.
Chad,
he
you
lies.
troll or no?
All he does is lie. He lied when Tate got locked up. He said that Greta Thunberg doxed him for the pizza box. That's not true. How stupid do you have to be? The guy's 30 plus, and he really believes that they don't check your passport when you enter an airport. He doesn't think that two of the most high-profile people in the world, Andrew and Tristan Tate, would have been tracked entering Romania. He legitimately got on camera and said, Greta Thunberg doxed him because the pizza box. All these soy boy channels, the same ones that are making hit pieces on me and you right now, they all lied and believed in this stupid.
Real quick, to cut you off, so people don't know, what is the definition of a soy boy? What is that?
A soy boy is a pasty person who doesn't want to change. These internet gangsters who believe in nothing, they stand for nothing. Right now, the reason I respect you is you have something that you stand for. Soy boys before the internet, they had no voice. It used to be the traditional alpha male. I'm not an alpha male, you're not an alpha male. I know they both call us that now to try to discredit us, but it used to be alpha males led the world. Now, since the internet, Mark Zuckerberg took over, and now people who didn't, nerds, who never had any power, control the world because they control social media. So now these people have a voice that would have never had any say beforehand. That's a soy boy.
Following this, Sneako would then address the fact that he claimed Cuties was his favorite movie, stating,
So he really doesn't like the fact that I supported the movie Cuties. When Cuties is actually a movie about Islamic faith. It's about how Western degeneracy can corrupt people and why TikTok is bad for you. Nobody who hates that movie actually saw it. It's about a Western African family that went to France, which is westernized, a bunch of TikTok garbage, and they get infiltrated by this nonsense and the girl starts dancing and stuff like that. It's gross. The movie is supposed to be gross. And then at the end, she starts to find her family. She puts on a hijab, she starts covering herself, and she finds God. And she finds...
Okay. So this is where it gets, please remember this part, all right? Please remember this part because I've been hearing all this controversy about this movie as, Sneako has eloquently explained. It's this movie that's on Netflix. And I've heard, I never watched the movie, all right? I never watched the movie until yesterday because I just kept hearing all this controversy about this movie. As Sneako has mentioned, people refer to the movie as being gross. Please remember that because we're going to get back to it. But I just want to finish off the video and then we're going to come back because notice Sneako mentions that apparently the girl comes back, all right? And I'm going to just tell you right now, comes back to her Muslim roots. And I'm going to just tell you right now, that's complete and utter bullshit, all right? That did not happen. So, but let's actually finish off with the clip, all right?
Finds in Islamic religion. That was my point. That's why I like the movie. But all these soy boys, they saw, oh, this is bad, without watching it. They have all the same copy and paste opinions. These commentary channels don't stand for anything. They just say exactly what Twitter says because they don't feel like doing any research.
But this wouldn't be it, as next, Sneako would take shots at Charlie by claiming that he looks like he likes children.
And also, if you say address the allegation, Aiden, who looks more like a pedophile? Who would you rather not bring around your children? That dude with the beard and the fentanyl hair looking like he sleeps under a bridge, or me? Who looks like a pedophile? Does anyone, this is why this allegation is kind of stupid. Does anyone actually think I'm a pedophile? Does anyone think that? Take one look at this dude, it's like, bro, yeah, I would not. People who game all day, these Minecraft YouTubers, always girls. It's Sky does Minecraft, these dudes gaming all day. That's always who it is. That's why he's so hard on that, probably because he has some weird stuff in his hard drive. Just saying.
I will agree with you on that. I like that take. I think all these guys who are, oh man, I I don't say what I want to say, that are basically silenced and shit. Like literally, like they're so afraid to speak against the agenda. I will agree with you on that. These guys definitely do some really weird shit. Like these guys over at Twitch, for example, these fucking streamers who are pitch perfect, right? And they just literally like, no matter what, like suck Twitch no matter what, even though there's literal corruption going on in the world and on Twitch itself, and they don't say anything. They're obviously hiding shit behind closed doors. They're doing weird shit. I don't care. They are. You know, you hear about it all the fucking time.
Whilst the Aiden Ross stream was live, Charlie was also streaming over on Twitch, and it would be on this stream where members of the chat would continuously bring up Sneako, where Charlie would finally respond, sharing some more thoughts on Sneako and his NPC-like behavior.
All that guy does is have these fucking tantrums and repeat the same 4 things over and over and over and over and over again. That would be the biggest headache in the world. I've listened to everything he's said recently. I actually think his Discord gave him some bullet points to say, and he has never deviated from it. It's the same thing every single time. Sneako says the same fucking thing every time. It's crazy. It is crazy how someone could be that much of a fucking sheep. But like to his own Discord who gives him his responses. It's so weird.
Later that same stream, Charlie would reveal that he is in fact in contact with one of Sneako's friends, stating,
One of Sneako's friends reached out after the last video to talk shit about him. The guy checks every single Reddit post that's made about him. Every Reddit post.
Alright, so I'm gonna stop it right there. But why am I even doing this? Alright, again, I've come on this channel in times past and I've criticized Sneako openly. And I'm a person that, you know, truth be told, if I criticize anybody on this channel, right, it's not personal. It's really not. You know, the thing is, I believe that it's safe, especially if freedom of speech actually exists. I believe we should have a safe space where everybody is able to voice their opinion, right, without necessarily having to be the devil, all right? Apparently, it seems like we live in a society where that is not the case anymore. I mean, it literally is not the case. And that's you know, good and all, whatever the case may be, right? But why am I even talking about this? Because I don't hate Sneako. I really don't. But the thing is, when I see so many people, you know, I've listened to Abba and Preach, I've listened to some other people too, who have mentioned how they have given this young man some advice. And it seems like this dude is just so hell-bent on just doing his own thing. And that's totally fine. Do as you please. But the problem fundamentally comes to the fact that this man has been propped as like some form of leader for masculinity. And it's just, that's where it kind of grinds my gears a little bit, because I'm just like, who is this guy? And this is not me hating on Sneako, right? Again, I actually want the young man to succeed, but the stuff that comes out his mouth, I just don't get it. Okay, like I'll give you a perfect example. He mentioned the movie Cuties. Now, Cuties is, last he's mentioned, this Netflix movie, and you know, what I really don't get is how, and I'm gonna just show some pictures right here. You know, I'm gonna just show some pictures, but you can kind of see it for yourselves, right? You can see how these girls are dressed. And mind you, the criticism, and let me take this off the screen. The criticism came from the fact that, you know, the movie was using actual young girls, and they were dressed in the most obscene ways. I mean, they had crop tops. And mind you, these girls were, they don't explicitly say, but they were definitely below high school. So let's say junior high. I think they even went as far as to say they were 11 years old. Literally, the main character, Ami, in the movie Cuties, right? She literally just got her period. Just to show you how young they were, all right? Anyway, so these young girls were dressed provocatively. They were twerking. They were I mean, wearing like these panties. You could see it was borderline pedophilia pornography. That's just me trying to be as truthful as possible. So I could see when I heard all the controversy behind the movie, I'm the kind of person that says, you know what, I'm not gonna just jump and attack you know what I mean, Sneako, because Sneako was you saw it for yourself. He seemed like he was so dead sure that the people who have criticism with the movie is because they never saw it. You heard what he said. The people who have criticism with the movie are people who never saw the movie. So in my mind, I'm looking at it from the standpoint, all right, you know what? Let me do my due diligence and let me actually watch the film for myself. And it was a completely hard watch. It was completely tough to actually watch it because the whole time I'm watching this movie, I mean, it was so cringe. I was literally hoping I would see the light at the end of the tunnel. Like, what is the message here? Literally, the whole time I was watching the movie, because it was so jacked, I was really just hoping that I would see the light at the end of the tunnel. Maybe there's a moral. Maybe there's a life lesson that I need to learn from this movie. Before I get to the end, I mean, what was totally disgusting to me was how, again, it was a traditionally Muslim family that came to a very liberal, woke France, right? So what was so crazy that is these people, the main character's family that was Muslim, they just tried to smear the culture so much, like the fact that they engage in polygyny, and that the mom was crying and she was so sad because the father was getting a second wife. I mean, I don't know who did this, but clearly that person had an agenda. I mean, these people been living this culture for hundreds, thousands of years. And all of a sudden, this person who's been growing up in this culture, who probably seen it all her life, would be crying because her husband took a second wife. Let's keep it real, you guys. That would not have happened. I mean, I've seen so many Muslim women who are totally fine with their husband having a second wife. They actually encourage it. But again, they wanted to purposely show that, right? I mean, after all, who the director, they put it in the film for a reason. So they wanted to show that this mom was disgruntled, but she was trying to remain faithful to her husband, right? Begrudgingly. And as a result, the little girl, Ami, she ends up rebelling. A loyal supporter, what's going on? But this little girl, Ami, she starts rebelling against her traditional household because she was witnessing her mom and, her feeling a type of way. So that is the foundation. And that's why I'm really annoyed with the whole thing. Because, again, they try to smear the Eastern culture. They try to, really put a smear on people who've been living this lifestyle for thousands of years. Why? Because they wanted to promote this liberal mindset. So now here's what happens. She goes to France, and it's as liberal as you can get. Like I said, these are girls 11 years old, and they literally just completely crazy. Completely crazy. I mean, it was so sad. And you're absolutely right. They were totally trying to cater only to the American standard, not the Muslim culture at all. At all. So they had these little girls twerking, dancing. It was so crazy. It was really, I kid you not, it was a hard movie to watch. It was an extremely hard movie to watch. And had it not been for me trying to do my due diligence, because apparently Sneako says that people who have criticism never seen the whole thing. I'm here, I'm sitting with my wife, looking to the side, and I'm literally waiting, like, when is this gonna change? What is the lesson that I'm supposed to learn? What is the lesson that I'm supposed to learn here? That's what I was waiting for. Lo and behold, Ami, she does end up getting fed up with the twerk culture, the woke liberal culture. She does get, annoyed by it, and she returns home, but she does not return to wearing a hijab. She does not wear no hijab. You see, and this is what I'm saying, is that, like, if you just listen to these people and you don't watch the movie for yourselves like I did, then you're going to end up thinking to yourself that, oh, let me just follow Sneako. Let me just follow what he had to say. No. There was no returning to the Muslim culture. What ends up happening is that this girl ends up rejecting both cultures. She rejects both her Muslim culture and she rejects the woke, liberal, left-wing culture. And she, if you read the synopsis of the movie, because I literally had to look it up to be like, what is the plot here? It was so that she can embrace being a normal girl. And that was the message of the movie. So the message of the movie of Cuties was not that to forsake, twerk culture and come back to her traditional Eastern Muslim culture. No, that's not what happened. What they were trying to present is that both of these cultures are extremes. That the Muslim culture was too strict and too demeaning to the women, and then you had the culture in France, which was way too woke. And these little girls were acting like grown adults, and it was disgusting. So there's a middle ground. That's what they were trying to promote. And I'm here to tell you that was complete utter bullshit. I never wasted more time in my life. I never wasted an hour and 30 minutes like I did watching that movie as I did yesterday. I mean, that's how bad it was. That's how bad it was. I mean, I had to watch a whole hour and 30 or so minutes just to realize that both cultures are bad. To who? Well, I'll agree that liberal twerk culture, which a lot of these women engage in, it is sick. But for you to try to condemn the Muslim culture, the Muslim culture, I mean, if anybody saw the movie, you would see all the beautiful things where they were trying to teach their daughters how to cook at a young age so that they can actually be able to please their husbands. They were actually teaching their daughters to save themselves for marriage. I mean, that's such a crime, right? That's such a crime. They were actually trying to teach these young girls to actually value themselves. I guess that's such a crime. This is utterly sickening to me. I really was so disappointed. I really was. And ultimately, I'll say this. There's one redeeming factor about the movie. The one redeeming factor of the movie is that as cringe, as disturbing and gross as it was remarkably accurate. Extremely accurate. And why? Because as much as people may want to turn, hear no evil, see no evil, right? As much as people want to do that, the stuff that was showcased in that movie, that's exactly what's going on. That's exactly what's going on, and nobody wants to talk about it. What they showed in that movie was exactly what's going on amongst the youth. These girls have done lost it.